Welcome back, Eleanor Victoria Stories. I never planned to say it out loud like that. It just slipped out, calm and measured like I was commenting on the weather. My wife noticed the smile on my face first. She was standing in the kitchen, one hand resting on her stomach, the other holding her phone. She looked at me with suspicion like she couldn't place what she was seeing. "Why are you so happy?" she asked. I didn't hesitate. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't look angry. I just said it. "You're pregnant, and the child isn't mine." The color drained from her face instantly. Not shock, not confusion, fear. The kind you can't fake or hide. Her parted, but no sound came out. She just stared at me like I'd said something impossible. For a moment, neither of us moved. "My name is Aaron. I'm 36. We've been married for 8 years, together for 11. From the outside, we were the kind of couple people envied. Stable jobs, nice house, no loud fights, no scandals. The kind of marriage that looks boring because nothing ever seems wrong. That was the illusion. When she told me she was pregnant 3 weeks earlier, she cried. "Happy tears," she said. She hugged me tight and asked if I was excited. I told her I was. I smiled. I played my part perfectly. What she didn't know was that I'd already done the math. The dates didn't line up, not even close. At first, I convinced myself I was wrong. Stress messes with your head. I told myself to stop overthinking, but that didn't go away. So, I did something I never thought I'd do. I checked her messages. I didn't find what I expected. It was worse. It wasn't one man. It was a pattern. Long gaps where she'd be distant with me, lined up perfectly with conversations she was having with someone else. Flirty at first, then careless. There was no "I'm sorry," no guilt, just comfort, familiarity, routine. She hadn't cheated once. She'd replaced me quietly and expected me not to notice. I didn't confront her. I didn't explode. I didn't even change my behavior. I watched. I listened. I waited. I let her believe she was still in control. When the pregnancy test came back positive, I knew the truth before she said a word. That's why I was smiling in the kitchen. "W? What are you talking about?" she finally whispered. "Of course, it's yours." I tilted my head slightly. "Is it?" She laughed nervously. The kind of laugh people use when they think humor can fix panic. "Don't be ridiculous." I nodded slowly. "Then explain why you were staying late at work on Thursdays, or why your phone password changed last year, or why you stopped me 6 months ago but somehow still ended up pregnant." Her hand tightened around her phone. She didn't answer. "I already know who he is," I continued. "And before you ask, no, I didn't hear it from anyone. You made it very easy to figure out." She sat down hard in the chair like her legs had given out. For a second, I almost bad. "Almost. You're wrong," she said weakly. I smiled again, softer this time. "We can do a test if you want. I'll even pay for it." Silence filled the room, heavy, suffocating. Finally, she looked up at me, eyes glossy. "What do you want?" That question told me everything. Not, "How do we fix this?" Not, "I'm sorry," just negotiation. "I want honesty," I said for once. Her shoulders slumped. She nodded slowly. "It just happened." I let out a quiet through my nose. It always does. She told me the story: a coworker, emotional support, long conversations, one mistake that turned into more. The usual script. I'd heard it all before from other people's lives. I just never thought it would be mine. When she finished, she looked at me like she was waiting for something. Anger, tears, a breakdown. Instead, I said, "I'm filing for divorce." Her head snapped up. "You can't be serious." "I already am." She stood abruptly. "You're just going to throw everything away over this." I looked at her, really looked at her, and realized something important. She still thought I was the man who would take it, the man who would stay quiet to keep the peace, the man who would sacrifice his dignity so she could feel secure. "No," I said calmly. "You threw it away. I'm just refusing to carry it." Her voice rose. "You're abandoning me. I'm pregnant. Not with my child," I replied, "and not with my consent." She started crying then, real crying. Apologies poured out, regret, promises. She swore she'd cut him off, swear she'd change, swear the baby didn't matter. That part hit harder than anything else. I grabbed my jacket and keys. I'll have my lawyer contact you. She followed me to the door. Where are you going? I paused, hand on the handle. Somewhere I'm not disrespected. I moved out that night. The weeks that followed were quiet. Too quiet. She texted, left voicemails that went from angry to desperate to pitiful. I didn't respond. The divorce moved forward faster than she expected. Turns out being calm and prepared gives you an advantage. The test results came back later. The child wasn't mine. When I told her, I already knew. She didn't argue. Last I heard, the other man didn't stay. Reality rarely matches fantasy. As for me, I'm still smiling. Not because I won, not because she lost, but because for the first time in years, I chose myself. And that happiness,